Hello, good morning once again. It's another Sunday, and like you know, even though work starts on Monday, the week starts today, Sunday. So take a bit of time to lay out your week. We are back again, and on today's episode of Mental Health with Ifeoma, I have a very special guest for you, my friend from over 20 years. Yeah, over 20 years. Mrs. Ujunwa Ajono, a seasoned psychologist and a technocrat. Today she's going to be sharing with us a bit about her struggles with emotion, especially as it concerns repression and the effect of repressing emotions on our health and our lifestyle. So I hand you over to Uju, and I hope that you enjoy yourself. Hello, my name is Uju Ajono, and I'd like to share a bit of my experience and some of the lessons I learned dealing with fear. Sometime in my life, precisely 2016, I discovered I was having all kinds of symptoms. It was a bouquet of symptoms, from back pain to neck pain to nerve pain, strange symptoms. And initially, it started like a joke. I went to the hospital, from one hospital to another hospital, and at every point, I got a different diagnosis. At the time, I thought it was okay to worry. I got so worried because I didn't know what exactly was the issue, and I was in pain, and there was no solution. But I didn't know what I was doing to myself. The more I worried, the more I got afraid, the more it was as if my world was coming to an end. And from fear, suddenly I started having panics. Yes, panics. It was at that point I knew I had to do something. And I started consulting. I decided to talk to my pastor, to talk to a few people. And from talking to people, thank God I met someone who has gone through the same experience, and I decided to do something about this, these emotions I was feeling. One thing that got to me was that when I wanted to change my emotions, I couldn't wish them away. I couldn't just, they just didn't leave me, even though I wanted to. I had to do something to deal with those emotions. And these are some of the lessons. One is that our emotions are just a reflection of what is going on the inside of us. Our emotions are a reflection of our mindset. And in dealing with your emotions, you need to deal with your mind. You need to deal even with the situation itself. So the very first thing I had to do was to analyze my issue. I had to reevaluate it. What exactly was the issue? What were the thought processes? What was the mindset? What was I afraid of? These things defined the kind of emotions that I was feeling. And in doing that exercise, I discovered that some of the things I believed were exaggerated. They were not the truth. So I had to seek the truth. Yes, I had issues. Yes, a lot was going on in my life. But was that the end of the world? Is there something else I could do? In doing that, after that analysis, the second thing was I had to seek knowledge. That was when I knew my Bible was not for just, it's not for decoration. I had to start reading my Bible. I started reading books. People have gone through the same thing. There's nothing new. And in doing that, I discovered the things that the people who have, passed through this same experience, what did they do differently? And I decided to, think differently. And then the third thing I did was I learned to refocus. Sometimes we're focusing on all the bad things that are going on in our life, but there's a whole lot of good things around you. Focus on the good things. I had to focus. I just had a baby. That's a blessing. I started learning to be thankful, not to overly focus on all the pains and all the issues. do you know that even when you focus on those issues, they just get magnified? When I stopped focusing on them, suddenly the issues didn't look as big as I thought. And then the fourth and the most important is that I had to commit to change my mindset. And that's a journey. And I can tell you, it's not going to be easy, but it's worth every inch of it. I started learning the act of disciplining my mind. I had to be, mindful of the kind of thoughts that I let into my heart. I had to be mindful to take away, every negative thought. Just refuse to think, all those negative thoughts that were coming at me. And I can tell you, when I started doing that, everything changed. Even the circumstances, my emotions started changing. I started discovering new ways of doing things. And I have become much, much more happier than I've ever been. So I don't know what emotion you're going through. You have to commit to do the work. But I can promise you, if you can learn to deal with the root of the issue, if you can learn to address the issues that are fueling those emotions, everything is going to change.